Hey there, and welcome. For most of us, driving is just something we do, a way to get from point A to point B. But what if I told you there's a whole hidden language being spoken out there on the road? A language that expert drivers are fluent in, turning a simple chore into this complex art of prediction and control. All right, let's dive in and decode how the pros really see the world from behind the wheel.
So, take a look at this street. Seems pretty normal, right? What's the first thing you notice? Maybe the parked cars, or that vehicle coming towards you. Well, the truth is, what you see says a lot about how you drive. Because a brand new driver and a seasoned expert, they're seeing two completely different worlds on this exact same road.
And wow, the difference is just night and day. A novice sees the obvious stuff, the road, the cars, the traffic. But an expert, they see a web of potential. Those aren't just parked cars. They're potential opening doors, potential spots where someone could just step out into the road. To an expert, this isn't a simple street. It's a living, breathing, totally dynamic environment. So, how do they actually pull this off? Well, it all kicks off with a total shift in mindset. It's not about just reacting to things as they happen. Nope, it's all about actively, constantly anticipating what could happen next.
This quote really just hits the nail on the head. New drivers are often most worried about the other moving cars. But what experience teaches you is that the real, unpredictable danger, it often comes from the things that aren't moving at all. That parked car can become a major hazard in a blink of an eye. The oncoming car, well, you pretty much know what it's going to do.
Okay, so to put a name on it, what experts are doing is constantly telling the difference between potential and actual hazards. Think about it like this. A ball rolling into the street is a potential hazard. The child who's about to chase after it, that's the actual hazard. An expert slows down for the ball because their brain has already jumped ahead of the child. They're basically solving problems before they've even happened.
It's like they have this little voice in their head, constantly playing the what-if game. Okay, what if someone walks out from behind that van? What if that driver pulling out just doesn't see me? They're slowing down for that blind corner, not because they know something is there, but because they know something could be. It's all about respecting the unknown. Now, all this forward thinking, this predictive mindset, it's not just them being paranoid. Nope. It's actually rooted in something way more concrete, the basic physics of a moving car. Experts have this deep, almost intuitive understanding of energy, momentum, and friction.
Get this. Here is a number that every single driver should have burned into their brain. 4. Why 4? Because of the square of speed rule. If you double your speed, say from 30 to 60 kilometers an hour, you don't just double your stopping distance, you quadruple it. The amount of energy your brakes have to fight is 4 times bigger. That is a massive, massive difference, and it's a huge reason why experts are so careful about managing their speed.
And all that kinetic energy means nothing if you don't have grip, right? Just look at how dramatically the road surface changes everything. That stopping distance you have on a dry day, it can easily double when it's wet. And on an icy road, you can pretty much forget about it. An expert driver can almost feel that change in friction, and they adjust everything they do accordingly.
All right, so we've got the expert mindset and we have a respect for the physics. The last piece of this whole puzzle is learning to read the road itself. The road is constantly feeding you information, speaking to you in this language of signs, lines, and signals.
Let's take this as a perfect example, a solid no passing line. Most of us just see it as a rule, don't cross the line. But it is so much more than that. It's basically a life-saving tip from a traffic engineer. It is a direct warning, and it's based entirely on the physics of how far you can see and how long it takes to react.
That line is basically telling you a story. It's saying, hey, the reason I'm painted here is because from this exact spot, you physically cannot see far enough ahead to pass a car safely. Someone else has already done the math for you. It's a lesson in risk that's been codified right there on the pavement. Ignoring it is like tearing down a giant warning sign.
And it's not just the one line, of course. Every marking on the road is part of this language. That upside-down triangle give-way sign, that's a universal heads-up to get ready to yield. The edge line shows you where the safe part of the road ends. Chevrons scream at you that a sharp bend is coming up. An expert sees all of this as one complete system designed to manage risk.
Okay, so let's try to pull all of these different pieces together. We have the mindset of anticipation, a healthy respect for physics, and the skill to decode the road's language.
How does an expert driver blend all of that together in a really complex, real-world moment?
All right, put yourself in the driver's seat. You're coming up on this scene. It's like the trifecta of hazards, right? A novice driver might just kind of push through and hope for the best. But an expert? They immediately kick into a systematic process to handle this whole situation safely.
This is the process they use, and it's often called the system of car control. Think of it like a checklist that they run through every single time. You start by gathering info from your mirrors, then you signal what you're going to do, you manage the car's energy with the brake and pick the right gear, only then do you execute the move, and finally, you accelerate smoothly away. It turns a scary, complex problem into a simple, repeatable sequence. And this is what that system looks like in action. The driver's heading into that tricky bend and junction. They're already on the brakes, managing the car's speed. But listen to their thought process. They are expecting another car to turn, and, this is the crucial part, they are assuming the other driver won't see them. That is the perfect blend of anticipation, physics, and procedure all in one.
And that right there is the ultimate secret. It's the whole game changer. Being an expert driver isn't about having superhuman reflexes. It's about using your brain to create more space and more time for yourself. Because when you have space and time, you almost never need those lightning-fast reactions. You've already dealt with the risk long before it became an emergency.
Now, I know this can feel like a lot to take in at once, but there is one simple, incredibly powerful technique you can start using on your very next drive that will get you started on seeing the road like an expert.
It really is this simple. Look further ahead. Instead of just focusing on the back of the car in front of you, make your visual target the center of your lane, as far down the road as you can physically see. Just making this one change does amazing things. It naturally centers your car, it smooths out your steering, and, most importantly, it gives your brain so much more time to see, process, and anticipate hazards way before you get to them.
So I'll just leave you with this question. The next time you get behind the wheel, try it. Look further down the road. Try to read the story that the lines on the pavement are telling you. Start asking what if about those parked cars. What are you going to see that was hiding in plain sight all along? Thanks for watching.